Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, Weekend Edition. We have 5 huge stories for you this week, and they are seriously shaping our digital future. We're asking, what really happens when a tech giant drops $11 billion on a single country's AI ambitions? Are the iPhone 17 rumors we're hearing actually too good to be true? And you're not going to believe this one. What on earth can a famously failed $400 juicer teach a company like Meta about building the metaverse? Okay, so here's what's on the menu today. We're going to kick things off with NVIDIA's massive AI play over in the UK. Then we'll unpack all the juicy leaks about the iPhone 17. After that, we're diving into the renewed war for the tech on your face. Then we'll take a little field trip to the tech graveyard for some crucial lessons, and we'll wrap it all up with the awesome new upgrades in 360 cameras. First up, let's talk about this absolute monster of a move in the UK's AI scene. NVIDIA is pouring in a staggering amount of money, but it's running headfirst into some equally massive real-world roadblocks. Let's just let that number sink in for a second. $11 billion. That's what NVIDIA is planning to invest to build out the UK's entire AI infrastructure. This isn't just a small bet, folks. This is a monumental push that's designed to completely reshape the AI landscape in Europe.
And this isn't happening in a vacuum. It actually fits hand in glove with the UK's own goals. Their national AI strategy flat out says they want to continue our leadership as a science and AI superpower. So you can see what's happening here. NVIDIA is bringing the horsepower for that national ambition. Now, what's really cool here is that this isn't just about throwing money at computer chips. A huge piece of the puzzle is investing in people. They're funding all these new master's programs and scholarships specifically to bring more women, Black students, and disabled students into the field. Because let's be real, you can have all the GPUs in the world, but you need the brainpower from every walk of life to make it work. Okay, so you've got the money, the ambition, the people. But this brings up a huge, very physical question. All this AI power, it has to live somewhere, right? It doesn't just hang out in the clouds. It needs a physical home. And this slide just lays out the dilemma perfectly. On one hand, you have this incredible vision. The UK becomes Europe's biggest GPU hub, an AI leader powered by 120,000 of the world's most powerful GPUs. But then you slam into the wall of reality. AI is so incredibly power hungry, and building enough data centers for all this stuff could totally clash with the UK's climate goals. So why should you care about this? Well, a few big reasons. First, this move absolutely cements the UK's position at the top of the global AI race. Second, it forces a really important conversation about sustainability and AI. And finally, for anyone watching the markets, this is a huge blinking sign for investment opportunities in UK tech and infrastructure. All right, let's switch gears. From that huge global scale, we're going to zoom all the way down to the tech that might just be in your hands next year. It's time to unpack the iPhone 17 leaks, because the buzz around this thing is getting seriously loud. Okay, tech fans, just get a load of these rumored specs. This isn't just a small step up, it's a leap. We're talking dual 48-megapixel lenses on the back, a brand new A19 chip under the hood, crazy good battery life, and way faster charging. But the one feature that's the real showstopper, the thing that's got everyone buzzing, is this new thing they're calling dual capture. So what the heck is dual capture? Picture this. You're at a concert, filming the band with your back camera, but at the exact same time, you're filming your own reaction with the front camera, and both videos are in stunning 4K Dolby Vision. This is an absolute game changer for content creators, for vloggers, for pretty much anyone who wants to capture not just what happened, but their experience of what happened. And of course, the money people are taking notice, big time. After these leaks started coming out, analysts got pretty bullish. JP Morgan bumped their price target up to $280, and some folks on Wall Street are seeing it go as high as $305. All this hype is turning into some serious financial confidence. This quote from a Reddit thread really nails a feeling that's been growing in the tech community. Apple's control over its entire process, from designing the A19 chip to building the camera sensors, is creating a performance gap that other companies are really struggling to match. It's their secret sauce, and it's starting to show. But, it's not a complete love fest. This comment right here points to a deep, long-standing frustration with iOS. For all of its incredible hardware, a lot of people still find basic software things, like how it handles notifications, to be a total mess compared to Android. It's a great reminder that a phone is more than just its spec sheet. So, what's the bottom line here?
The iPhone 17 is looking like it's going to set a new standard for what a flagship phone is in 2025. The A19 chip is going to be ridiculously powerful. And it just refuels that classic tech debate. Do you want the perfectly polished but locked down hardware of Apple, or the super flexible but sometimes messy software of Android?
Now for our third story. We're talking about the new battleground, the war for your face. That's right, smart glasses are back in a big way, and this time they're supercharged with AI. But as we're about to see, a lot of the same old problems are still hanging around. This isn't our first rodeo with smart glasses. It all kicked off way back in 2013 with Google Glass. A true pioneer, but man, was it controversial. Then in 2021, Meta teamed up with Ray-Ban for the first-gen stories. But this new 2024 version, it's a whole different beast, mainly because it adds a powerful AI that can see and understand the world just like you do. So let's break down what's new. You've got better cameras, you can live stream straight to your socials, and you can talk to Meta's AI without pulling out your phone. But the mind-blowing part is the multimodal AI. You can literally look at a building and ask your glasses, "Hey Meta, what's the history of this place?" And it'll tell you. But, and this is a big but for Meta, they have this, let's call it an aesthetic problem. This quote criticizing their virtual world says, "Simplicity does not necessitate ugliness." And that points to a bigger issue. If people think your software looks kind of lame, is it going to be tough to convince them to wear your hardware on their face as a fashion statement? Yeah, probably. And that really gets to the heart of the issue with smart glasses. The promise is something straight out of science fiction. Capture a life instantly with an AI that's your co-pilot for reality. But the problems, well, they're the same old headaches from a decade ago. Serious privacy worries, the social weirdness of wearing a camera on your face, and of course, terrible battery life. And this is a big deal, not just as a cool gadget. This really is the next frontier of how we interact with technology. It forces us to ask some really tough questions about privacy and what's socially acceptable. Its success isn't just about the tech, it's about solving those very human, very tricky design and social problems. All this talk about old challenges is the perfect segue to our fourth story. We're going to take a little trip to the tech graveyard to see what epic failures of the past can teach us about building the successes of the future. First up, a name that lives in tech infamy, Juicero. This was a company that raised $120 million, and this next quote just perfectly sums up why it all went wrong. This thing was a $400 Wi-Fi connected juicer that squeezed these special juice packets with 4 tons of force, an engineering masterpiece, except for one tiny problem. You could just squeeze the packets with your own 2 hands, and it was actually faster. It was an incredibly complicated solution for a problem that literally no one had. And our second exhibit in the graveyard, well, it's a familiar face, Google Glass. Now, unlike Juicero, it was trying to solve a real problem, but its failure is captured perfectly by this next thought. See, Google Glass's problem was different. The tech was amazing, but it was just so impractical. Wearing it felt weird, it made other people uncomfortable, it raised all these privacy red flags. It was a brilliant idea that just didn't fit into the messiness of everyday life. It was a classic case of innovation completely missing the mark on practicality. So, if we boil all this down, what's the playbook for not ending up in the tech graveyard? It's pretty simple, really. 1, solve a real problem that people actually have. 2, make it super clear why your product is valuable. And 3, you have to find that sweet spot between groundbreaking tech and simple, everyday usefulness. And why do we even bother digging up these old failures? Because it is absolutely crucial for figuring out what's going to succeed next. It's a huge reminder that amazing tech by itself does not make a great product. And it gives all of us a pretty solid checklist for when we're trying to figure out if the next big thing is for real. All right, for our final story, let's look at a piece of tech that seems to have learned all those lessons and is really starting to shine. 360 cameras are getting some major upgrades, giving creators incredibly powerful and practical new ways to capture their world. I want you to just chew on this for a second. What if your camera had no frame? What if you could just capture everything around you, in every direction, all at once, and then decide what's important later? Well, that's the incredible promise of 360 video.
The two heavyweights duking it out right now are the GoPro Max 2 and the Insta360 X5. Both of them are now pushing into glorious 8K resolution, and you can almost see their company philosophies in the specs. GoPro is all about its hardcore hardware and powerful sensors, while Insta360 is earning all this praise for its super smart, user-friendly AI software. Now, the absolute magic trick of these cameras is a feature called reframing. This completely changes how you think about shooting video. It means you just press record and capture the entire scene. Then later on, in the editing software, you get to act like a director, moving a virtual camera around to create pans, tilts, and zooms. You literally shoot first and point the camera later. It's wild. And this is where the software becomes the absolute hero. This review nails it. Insta360's AI subject tracking is a total game changer. It can automatically follow a person or a car, creating these smooth, professional-looking camera moves that used to take hours of tedious manual work. It's making high-end editing accessible to everybody. And all this practical, powerful tech is unlocking a whole new toolbox for creators. You can get those impossible, invisible selfie stick shots that look like they were filmed with a drone. You can shoot one video clip and then create a widescreen version for YouTube and a vertical version for TikTok. It's perfect for immersive action sports, or even creating virtual tours of a house or a museum. And that leaves us with one final, really inspiring question. For the first time, we have these accessible tools that let you capture the entire world around you with no limits. The only thing left holding us back is our own imagination. So the real question is, what will you create when you can capture everything? Something to think about, for sure. And that's a wrap on our look at this week's top 5 game changers. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.